Hello, everyone. Welcome to the webinar, Simplifying Document Search with Generative AI powered by Quills.ai. So we have a tremendous response for this webinar. So let us give a couple of minutes. I see a lot of people joining right now. So let's give us a minute and we'll get started. Thank you. Meanwhile, just to set the instructions for this webinar, so you should see a question and answer box as well as you will see a chat box. And if you wanted to interact with us, like if you have any suggestions, feedback, or questions, feel free to use this. So either Shri, me, or Vinay will take up those questions and we'll try answering during this webinar. In case if you have further questions or if you wanted to understand more about Quills.ai and wanted to have a demo with us, feel free to write us to marketing@quills.ai. And of course, the tool is right now is open for everyone. So you can always have a test drive. Like if you can actually sign up for free and you can use it. You don't have to add your credit card too. So 20-30 seconds more, folks. Thank you. Thanks for your patience. I really appreciate it. Okay, I see ample amount of people already joined. So I'll get started. Just to respect all of our times, I'll get started. Again, greetings from your corner of the world, whether it's your morning, afternoon, or evening. Welcome to everyone to our webinar, showcasing how to do document search using Quills.ai. While we are speaking, I see a couple of our customers are also joining, and of course, our users on the webinar already. And yeah, there is a case study, which I believe should be on our slide 4 or something, where we actually did this dog food criteria, where we started feeding our own case study to Quills.ai, and we started doing a document search out there. So that example is also illustrated in slide 4. So yeah, I think it will be more interesting. So with no furthermore delay, let me just dive into the webinar. If you have any questions, as I told you, please use the question and answer section and chat section to interact with us. Next slide, please, Vinay. So let me quickly introduce both of our co-founders. Of course, me, I'll also quickly give a glimpse about me. So the two co-founders of this company is Shri and Vinay. Both of them are also there in the webinar. So the common interest between all three of us is the technology. And Shri and Vinay specifically has close to 2 decades of experience in technology, and they scaled a lot of things on technology. So for example, Shri is more into cloud architecture and solution architecture, where Vinay did tremendous job around application architecture. So Vinay worked with companies like Toyota Motor, CTC, and Shri worked with some of the reputed brands in life sciences and hospitals, as well as on the port segment of it. So what we tried doing is, like, it's a very interesting story on how Quills.ai incepted per se. What we started doing is we're always a big fans of data analytics, working with a lot of transactional data and, a lot of fast data moving, and, we have to analyze it in no time. So that's where we are looking at, our next venture or its next journey to find what is interesting. And we are bumping and bouncing on a lot of ideas. Then finally, we happened to say that, let's do a criteria where, we started reaching out to our lot of existing friends, clients, and, other folks. And we started looking at what is the gap in the industry which we can fill it. We know there are a lot of gaps, and we cannot change 100% in one go. So we need to aim at 0.001%, and we need to push it. So we always seen technology as a driver, like the one holding the steering, but the whole engine is about what is the problem and how are we going to solve this. And then while we are speaking with a couple of all these mentors, we came across some alarming facts about data analysis. So you know what? A surprising fact, which is also we validated through looking at Gartner reports, Trust Radius, and other sources also. More than 72% of the data which is already generated will never be analyzed. Now think of how much big difference that 72% can create. And there are certain departments in every company, whether it could be, a supply chain, procurement, marketing, sales, customer success. Considering all these things, there is like something brilliant data coming it by, because it has a feedback of the customer coming up, and there are a lot of lessons which we can learn. There is a lot of cost optimizations which we can do it. But what we observed is these segments definitely needs a technology team as a kind of a layer to do the data analysis. And as you know, there would be reports which we feel like, okay, we need to have this report right now, and we might not get this. And we started looking at, okay, let's see what are the traditional BI tools available on this market. And we are very much surprised to look at an industry benchmark, which we also validated, is to create a simple dashboard, active dashboard, which keeps on taking the data and, showing you the real-time data analytics or data analysis. Generally takes 6 weeks to build. Now think of one use case which you wanted to do and take a decision out of it. You will be crippled with whatever it is going to happen. And we thought, okay, is it due to the data literacy issue? Like people don't understand how to read the data and everything. And then comes a surprising fact. In United States alone, the data literature will cost more than $100 billion. And then we started like, let's start Quills.ai. So to give you a high level single liner about Quills.ai, rather I would let our product speak about in the coming slides rather than me speaking about we do this and we do that. So we are a generative AI enabled data analysis platform. For example, you can connect Quills.ai to databases, CSVs, and now documents also, and you can analyze the data and ask questions. It may look so simple, but you will understand the depth of it. Why? Because if you plot a graph, right, you will see x-axis and y-axis, but the z-axis, which is the depth of something, looks like a dot, but the depth is too much. So that's where we found this. We can also consider it as a Copilot. Why? Because it can do a lot of things behalf of you. And yeah, to solve the data literacy, we also did something really tremendous, which is, again, going forward, you will find a lot about this. So you can connect multiple sources of data sources to Quills.ai, and you can generate insights, and you can deliver it directly to your communication channels like Slack and everything on those lines. Next slide, please. So to quickly set the agenda for today's webinar, we are going to walk you through a series of demonstrations, which not half an hour, 20 minutes, 10 minutes. We tried keeping everything less than a minute to give you an understanding. And so to start with, Shri, who is there on this webinar, will throw some light on the RAG process in the document search using generative AI, which is a standard process used. So to give you a glimpse of what a top layer of how the document search happens. And now, as you know, document search do exist in ChatGPT, but so we really wanted to also let you know how ChatGPT does the document search analysis versus how Quills.ai does that. So we created also in the next couple of slides, you will also see we created two data sets. One is a single document which you can look at it. We actually took the NVIDIA SEC fillings, and the fourth one, it's a complicated data set where we took multiple PDFs and we created as a collection. We also started doing a document search out of it. So we will quickly walk you through all these things, and we will also speak a little about what is Quills.ai and what is the traction looks like right now. Just to give a brief of who we are. Now, next slide. Now, here is a less than 30 seconds demo on how Quills.ai is used in the life sciences data set. So you can use the prompts of the data you wanted to look at. You can get a tabular view of it, and you can also create a graph of your choice. And that's what this demonstration is all about. So we already added some data here on the licenses data side. You can ask questions. You can also look at the tables. You can also actually plot a graph of whatever segment you wanted to. It can be bar graph, it can be column graph, and everything. Next slide, please, Vinay. Right. So while we started, can you go back to a slide of Harry Potter? Yeah, this one. Okay. Now, when we started working on document search, few months back. Why? Because this is definitely in a product roadmap, but not very near. But one of the customer we are working came up with a legacy system and asked us to keep this prioritized on the product roadmap. So we did it a little early. And while we are doing it, I was hit by this nostalgia of Harry Potter. One of the things which are common between Harry Potter and our solution is like it works like a charm. And all you need is a magic wand named as prompts. So I would request Shri to take over, and Vinay, you change the slide so Shri can speak and throw some light on the RAG process. Yes.
Hey guys, how are you doing? And thanks a lot, Mac, for that wonderful introduction. So I'm the solution architect for this project. So let me quickly brief you about RAG process, right? I think not only Quills, pretty much any document search solutions across the board, whoever is building typically follows a RAG structure, and this is going to stay here for a while, for coming years. So we have been used to traditional SQL querying. When we load the data, we typically insert the data into the table. So we use some insert queries, and then when we extract the data, we write SQL queries, right, to extract data from traditional databases. Now, RAG follows a similar structure, but at a different level. But I think this is the future of document search, and how copilots work, and how people interact with databases going forward. And typically RAG uses a vector database instead of traditional relation database to store the data. So if you have to explain from scratch, right, when instead of doing a typical insert, what happens behind the scenes is, when we look at the data, like for example a document, it gets split into multiple chunks, and each of those chunks is converted into something called vectors, vector embeddings. That's an n-dimensional vector embedding depending on the data. And that gets stored in the database, specifically called vector database, and that's what you see in the top, horizontal section. You load the data, you split the document into chunks, you embed it, and then you store it in the vector database. So that's the first part, right? So this is the insert into part of the typical RDS data. Now, what happens when you want to search for data from the database, right? You want to select something from the database. So now that's when you actually ask a question, that question gets converted into an embedding again. It does a search against the vector database. It retrieves the vector from the database, and that's when you use the magic of LLMs. Once the answer is retrieved, you send it to LLMs to augment the data, right? It reads the LLM reads the data. They augment the data with their own responses in the natural language, and based on the prompt that we provide to the LLM. So that's where the actual magic happens: the prompting, the tuning of model, and then the data that was sent to the LLM. And finally, you get the magic result, and that's essentially works like a charm for most of the cases that we have been seeing. And our USP lies in how we tune the models, on the custom data sets, how we set up our prompts, and how we continuously improve upon it based on the data that we have seen, right? Can you move on to the next slide, please?
So maybe I'll just take this to quickly set up the canvas, Shri. So all of you, let me address that elephant on this room. What's the difference between ChatGPT and Bard? Gemini versus Quills.ai. So while Shri has two next two slides speaking more about what ChatGPT 2 versus Quills.ai, I'll try summarizing in one or two statements. ChatGPT, as you know, gives answers based on the data sets, and with Quills.ai, you can train your models based on your requirements, and we will be able to do it. And one more thing which is very important is, with ChatGPT, you can only speak with one PDF or one document at a time. But with Quills.ai, what we created is we created something called as collections, and you can add multiple PDFs, multiple documents, and you can start searching and write queries or ask prompts, and you will be able to do the analysis. So next couple of slides, one, you will see what ChatGPT is doing with the document, which is the life sciences case study, which we spoke about. And then you will also see a little more about what Quills is doing on the next slide. Go ahead, Vinay. Go ahead.
Oh, you're on mute.
sorry about that. Here is a case where we uploaded Quills, life sciences case study and asked the chat GPT to summarize, and this is what we get. And this is how you typically operate. And this is something, it is available. Can you go to the next slide, Vinay? It's available with chat GPT subscription. Anyone who has the, GPT, advanced subscription, they can do that. And this is how typically you summarize. We have a summarize tab, you upload the document and then you click on summarize tab and you get a detailed summary of the application. The beauty of Quills is, you can, as we are showcasing here, you can, create a collection with multiple, documents or databases or files, right? Depending on the data source, and then you'll be able to chat with it. Right. In addition to that, you'll be able to create integrations with chatbots, Slack, etc., that you can use externally across various applications in your enterprise or company or organization, right? Wherever you're working. Can we move to the next slide, please? Yeah. So here is another, quick insight into how, NVIDIA 10Q filing can be interpreted with Quills. So we basically are downloading this 10Q for 2023 Q4 from the NVIDIA's website. And, let's see, we just upload the file and ask some basic questions. Here you can see the file. You can see all these numbers, and this is for 2023 Q3. And you'll understand at later part, the reason we picked this is because we wanted to do a comparison as well with the financial analysis, with the SEC results of the competitor ARM, which we'll showcase in the next coming slides. As you can see, you can ask detailed level questions, and same thing, what we use or utilize is RAG, prompting, LLMs, etc. And then to get the details. And here you can see, we integrate with Slack. This is the beautiful thing. If you're on Slack, you can add as many users as possible. Add the Quills chatbot to the Slack, and connect the data source, and start seeing the beauty of it. As you can see, you can ask the questions. You can connect one data source at a time and basically ask questions to the channel. Yeah. So this is your friendly chatbot. And we also have external JavaScript based chatbots that you can plug and play to any applications. Same thing, you'll be able to integrate, we'll provide a JavaScript link that you need to include in the applications that you use. And that will essentially create a pop-up like the one that it showed here, and you'll be able to chat with it. And this pop-up can be customized, the logo, color, size, height, width, etc., icons, everything, as you can see. And this can be embedded as part of your existing applications. As Max said, right, if you're interested, please feel free to reach out to us at marketing@quills.ai. And we can always work on your use case and see how we can collaborate.
This is one of the cool feature which I'm speaking about earlier. Now, consider you are into marketing or customer success and you have a lot of data to look at. I'm not just speaking about the PDF uploads and everything, but consider you're working on Snowflakes or MySQL or PostgreSQL. All your data is stored there. And one thing what your technology team does is, they would be very skeptical about giving you the database access if you are from, the supporting roles or the crucial roles which I spoke about. But the data analysis is important. So it's always a issue like how can there are also genuine reasons and genuine concerns from the technology team saying that what, we cannot give you the access. Now consider if the technology team already added all these things and give this chatbot to the team, a supporting team, and they wanted to do the data analysis. It's a pretty easy thing to do. All they have to do is keep it in internal site wherever they wanted to. It's a pure JS. You can just plug and play and you can start interacting with your data however you wanted to. So yeah, I just wanted to add this. Yeah. Next slide, Vinay.
Next slide, please. Yeah. here is a use case where we are creating a collection, right? Again, this is based out of AMD and NVIDIA's quarterly results, and so that we can quickly compare. And here we uploaded the AMD's 10Q. Same thing. This is also for Q3 2023, and we are uploading NVIDIA's 10Q. Once we do that, we create a collection. Collection is a grouping of documents, right? So currently what we allow is grouping of you can group all the PDFs, docs, or CSVs and Excels. And we are continuing to improve upon it. And you can create as many collections as possible at this time. You'll be able to create chatbots for each of those collections. You'll be able to integrate the data sources with Slack. So these are some of the cool features. Here you can see, right, we uploaded both the documents for both the quarter results, and then this is what you see, compare the revenues, and the Quills platform provides you the details, and you can ask specific questions as well, and it will be able to chunk the data. I mean, give you the details and responses. So that's something that we wanted to showcase. This is the new feature that we have launched. In fact, this is live starting this week. So I would request you guys to it's free to sign up, no credit card required. So in case if you're interested, just explore and provide your feedback as well. We really appreciate if you can do that. Next one, please.
That's great, Shri. Can you also quickly give us the USPs of our product? And maybe we'll just go to the traction part.
Sure. Yeah. So coming to the USP, I think some of the key features that we have. Some of the key features that we have, natural language interaction, chatbot interaction. We briefly spoke about all of these things earlier, but just to reiterate, you can speak with natural, in your own language, especially English to start with, and we'll continue to add more. And then you don't have to rely on IT very much, right? For the most part, you can or if you're an IT person, you can do you can get the you can use it as a co-pilot, right, to get the basic information, and continue your work and throughout the day. Natural language interaction, chatbot integration. Next one, please. And then you have seen, in one of the first few videos where we have very powerful table grids and tables which you can extract, sort, filter. You'll be able to do a lot of typical analysis, using the some of the powerful grids that we have and tables. And then data visualizations, you'll be able to build charts, custom charts depending on the requirement. All the traditional standard charts are available, pie chart, donut, bar, line, dotted, plot, etc. Next one, please. And then one of the cool features that we have is the Slack integration. You can connect any of the data source to the Slack as we have showcased before, and you can add as many number of users as possible, right? And then that's one of the key advantages. You don't have to create users here. You can create, you can use the existing users of an organization can continue to work with the data through the Slack channels, right? And one of the major one of the major cool features that we have not showcased here, but we showcased earlier is we also have SQL generation capabilities, where if you want to understand, you want to connect to a database, and you want to understand, like, hey, give me a SQL for customers who have like highest revenue, who generated highest revenue in the last quarter, right? Or if you're an e-commerce shop, give me top 5 highest selling products, details, right? If you want to see what goes on behind the scenes, you can actually ask the system, ask Quills.ai, and it will give you the SQL as well, that goes behind the scenes. Along with it, it comes a SQL editor as well, where you can execute the query, see the results, or if you want to edit it, you can edit and see the results instantly. So that's some of the cool features that we have. Next one.
Right.
So
This helps them to.
some of the, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is useful for the data accuracy, so that they can see the results and also what is being triggered and executed on the line. So that's a really helpful feature.
Yep, absolutely. All right, I think, Mac, that's all I have, I think.
Great. So I'll quickly walk you through what we have done, whom we are serving currently. But first, I would like to seek an apology because we cannot keep all the clients given we are working with some of the largest system integrators, and we have NDAs in place because we are working with them at a white label solution part. So I'm afraid I cannot give you everything, but we are a pretty young company. Can say we are what 6 months to the market right now. But we are able to secure a lot of MOUs and MSCs with some of the names you see here. But we are also working with a lot of other folks, specifically on the life sciences part. We are working with system integrators for a end client, which is the life sciences companies. And they are actually using it on multiple things. One is for pricing analysis. Some of them are using it for the trading data. Some of them are trying to understand a lot of things. So as you know, it's a factorial part. Like, there are a lot of permutations and combinations which you can do. Why? Because it deals with the core problem of data analysis, right? And data could be anything. So quickly, we have MOAs and MSAs with the clients we speak here. And we also have a lot of traction. The day we launched on Product Hunt, we are ranked for the first 3 days. We are the first top product on Product Hunt, and we got a lot of most of our first clients are through the inbound. Like people got interested. They started jumping onto the website. Few people came from France and Spain also. And there are 200 plus signups in the first 3 days of launch itself. So initially, we kind of kept it for free. Anyone can explore and use it. And then we kind of, started moving into a lot of enterprises and a lot of product development companies and product companies per se. Then now we thought like, document search is a very cool feature, and we thought, okay, let's open it for everyone. And we wanted every one of them to, have the fun of trying this. So we also opened it right now, as we mentioned. So we are currently in the process of getting into Antler, as most of you know Antler. And yes, mostly like, if you say, we still have clients from, the top 20 system integrators or the technology integrator companies, if you look at it. So 2 of them are clients, and we are also serving multiple clients of them with our product. Again, it's a white labeling part there. And yeah, we are happy to explore more collaborations with you. If you wanted to, actually try this thing and, speak with us rather than, getting into the demo first, feel free to try it. It's just a one-click sign up. You can use your LinkedIn to sign up and you can play with it. And in case if you have any questions, you can feel free to write to us. We also have a knowledge base, which will be very useful for you, saying that how you can connect with multiple databases, how you can connect with your Slack bot. And in case if you have any questions, just write to us, marketing@quills.ai. And if you also wanted to have a demo, we will also be available on market@quills.ai. We will also send you a recording of this webinar. So in case if you want someone from your team to view it, feel free to send it. And thank you so much for your time. I hope you find this insightful. And yeah, we look forward to collaborate with you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.